G'day guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Laura V here. Remember, you can always check out all my info on laurav.com.au. But today I want to do a video talking about how many times should you ask your dog to do something. So don't forget to subscribe, and that will give you access and notifications to all the other videos which you get for free. And remember, you can always comment below, you can always ask more questions, and I will do a video here for you. On Instagram, they're much shorter videos, but these ones I can kind of babble a bit longer and really properly explain what I mean when you ask me these really important questions. So today's question is, how many times do you ask a dog to do something? Well, let's use the example of sit, right? There are so many people I see out in the street, or a cafe especially, or a dog park, where they'll say, Harry, sit, 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 sit. And the dog's like, he's looking around, he's got, wants to grab a ball, you can see a bird over there. He's just not listening to that person at all. And sometimes I sit there and go, oh man, that person is really struggling. That must be frustrating for them and for the dog, because they kind of are speaking a totally different language. So you'll hear people say sit, 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 sit 10 times, and then they either forget it and they don't follow through, or they push their dog's bum down, or they yank at their collar. My God, there's a much, much better way to do it. And this is what I want you to do. It doesn't matter how many times you ask your dog to do something. It's more about whether your dog is listening and they're capable of doing that behavior at that moment. So in the cafe example, we don't want to take a dog to a cafe and cue them to sit if they're distracted by everything else that's going around. So don't start your training at a cafe, guys. Start your training of getting your dog to sit on a mat at home under no distraction. So get them just to sit for a yummy piece of food and give it to them, and then release them, say free, and have a bit of a play, and then cue them back onto their bed and get them to sit and give them a treat. And gradually increase the expectation of how long they need to stay on that bed. It's got to be fun, and it's got to be motivational for the dog. You've got to have high value rewards, otherwise dogs don't learn. You're not bribing a dog by giving them food. What you're doing is you are reinforcing the neural pathways in how they're learning to remember that the next time they do that behavior, they're going to be rewarded for it. That's how reinforcing of behavior works. It happens in our lives, it happens in any sentient being's life that we know of. So don't feel bad about rewarding your dog with something that they value, please. So yeah, we start under low distraction or no distraction, really high value rewards, and then gradually we increase that distraction as you're able to get your dog to do stuff you want them to do. So it might be, you might get to the point where you can get your dog to sit for 10 seconds or to drop on the mat for 10 seconds and gradually introduce a little distraction. So that could be someone walking past, or it could be a different noise, it could be a toot of the horn from your YouTube channel. Different things that emulate the real world are really, really valuable, but doing it inside the home. And gradually over time, you should be able to introduce more and more distractions, yet still expecting your dog to know that if they stay on that mat, nothing bad's going to happen. You've got their back and wonderful things are coming their way. It does take time to train a dog, because you are basically, you're creating a way of thinking and behaving that the dogs don't generally know to do without our counsel. So you're asking a dog to control their impulse when there's 5 other things that they innately believe they should be doing. So it does take time, but oh man, it's so worth it when your dog and you have that relationship where you can go to a cafe and you can put the mat out. I think it's essential that you have a mat for your dog wherever you go, so they've got a place to station to, it's familiar, and they've learned to go onto that from home. Get them to drop and give them, treats here and there just for sitting there focusing on you. Never push the training too far, so don't stay there for 2 hours talking to your mates. Maybe the first time, don't go with anyone else, just go for 5 minutes, get a takeaway coffee, and then just go and leave on a high. Never wait until your dog makes a mistake. Always finish where your dog is within their limitations to behave in the way that you've desired from them. So yeah, I think once again, always think from your dog's point of view. every behavior that your dog does is a means of telling you how they're feeling and what they're capable of in that time. And so you, as your dog's advocate and as their voice, need to be able to be in a position to act and prevent your dog from being in situations where they're going to fail.